Welcome back to Strike Fighters 2. You're joining me here as we're rocketing down the runway at Tockley Air Base. Back for the F-105 campaign with Curtis Bradley, 334th Tactical Fighter Squadron. It's just after 7:50 in the morning here as we are rolling out, heading up to Route Pack 6 to Haiphong today, targeting the Haiphong Thermal Power Plant.
1-3's airborne.
It's October 3rd, 1965, only one day after our previous mission. Codename is Tomahawk. We're taking 4 F-105s, and we're loaded out with 8 750-pound bombs, the M117s, and 2 450-gallon drop tanks on the inner pylons. Here's our route today, bringing us up over Laos up to Thud Ridge, where we'll turn down to the southeast, make our run past Hanoi, over the Cow River, and right to the edge of Haiphong. And right here is the Haiphong Thermal Power Plant West, and that's right on the banks of the river. And so we'll come down, we'll do a low-level approach, pop-up bomb, and then return back to Thud Ridge before we circle back around through Western Vietnam and back to Thailand. Climbing out here, I'm happy to say that finally we have a day of bad weather. I feel like most of our missions that we've been doing have been happening on not only clear days, but severe clear, almost no clouds, not even light clouds. And that's not exactly the weather that we expect from Vietnam. So here we can see we're actually having an overcast day, no rain at the moment, but definitely some cover up around 17,000 feet or so. So I'm happy to see that. I was starting to think that maybe something was wrong with the campaign, or maybe the map, or just the weather system in general, because it seemed a little suspicious to have so many nice days in a row with no weather variations at all. But everything seems okay now. Here we are today with more of a gray day, something that we would more expect from Vietnam. Wingmen have taken off, and we are circling around, coming back over the top of Tockley, heading out towards our waypoint 3. With our setup today, with those 750-pounders, our optimum cruise is going to be Mach 0.77 at only 20,000 feet, so definitely lower and slower today on the way in. And I'm going to climb at Mach 0.75, so here we are, we're just pretty much on speed, coming up to 400 knots, and as we hit it, I'm going to pitch up slightly to maintain that, and then we're going to head on up to 0.75 up for the climb. And I'm hoping that we're going to come out over the top of these clouds for the cruise, and that we're not going to be in them. I don't want to cruise in them, so we may have to go a little bit higher if that's the case. Okay, there's waypoint 2. Now we're on our way to 3. One of the changes I did make for this mission was to adjust the mission time a little bit to give us a little more leeway to be able to cruise to the target. Last time we were actually quite behind on our way out getting to the target. We were supposed to be covering or attacking some AAA installations to cover a bombing run. Of course, by the time we got there, the bombs had already dropped and the planes were long gone. So to help adjust for that, I just I bumped up the mission time, or the mission to target time in the INI files just a little bit, just to give you a couple extra minutes for taking off, marshaling up the wingmen, and then climbing up to cruise altitude. Also, we are taking a custom route into Route Pack 6 up around Thud Ridge. That is not assigned by the game, I'm just doing that manually. But what that means is that the other AI flights, our escorts, or any other bombers, they are not following that same route, so they're maybe getting to the target a little bit quicker than we are. So again, just giving myself that little extra time to get it done. External view here, we get a good look at the ordnance loadout, the tanks, the bombs, the 750 M117s. We can also get a good look at the paint scheme here. Now, I believe earlier I had referred to this as the bare metal scheme, and it's actually not. This is the F-105s were not bare metal. at this point in time, they were actually painted with an aluminized silver acrylic lacquer that covered and sealed the aircraft in. And that happened actually in 1962. So all of the Century series aircraft, so F-100, 101, 102, 106, 105, all of these aircraft of the mid to late 50s, they had all been left in bare metal, and they were all found to have major corrosion problems. So for the F-105, during Operation Lookalike, which was in 1962, that was a major upgrade to the plane's systems. They also went ahead and applied this silver paint to all of them, all the F-105Bs and Ds in service. And the idea was the silver paint was going to lock in the aircraft, seal it up against corrosion. So that's what we're actually looking at here. The lookalike silver will continue for just a couple more months here until we start seeing the adoption of the C camo, the Southeast Asia camo, which we're going to see start appearing around the beginning of 1966. The earliest picture I've seen of F-105s, not that I have scoured the entire archives, but in my reference books, actually December of 65, we see some of the 334th aircraft with a mix of silver and camouflage. So here in the game, we're going to see that crossover at the beginning of 66. So in January, we'll see that coming. But for the moment, we are still in silver, and we've still got the colorful tail decorations. For the 334th, we've got that blue field with the white stars, which I just find very pretty. I had a great comment on the last video. Someone pointed out that for checking in the wingmen, you can actually do it. I was lamenting that I had asked for a status report and I only got a single update from number 2, and I wanted to see if 3 and 4 were down. But the commenter pointed out that you can actually do that by changing your formation. So if I go up here, if I do a formation change, then 2, 3, 4, they all acknowledge, and it's actually a nice way to get a check-in. And in fact, I realized that you don't even have to change the formation itself, you just spread them out. So that was an order to spread them out, and then I can close them back in whenever I want. And it doesn't actually change the formation at all. It just makes them do a little bit of maneuvering, and then they do the check-in. So there we go. That's a great way to get an update, a status report, you know, when we hear that maybe wingmen are hit. I like to be able to check in to see if they're actually shot down or just damaged. So that's how we're going to do it. So I'm pretty excited about that. Can't believe I didn't think of that myself or notice that in all these years, that I could just do it that way. So, but that's how it goes sometimes. You just need someone to maybe give you a little reminder. All right, let's take a look around Vietnam today and see what we've got going besides us. Here's Rambler Flight. These are F-8s. You can see their feet dry already. They're over land. So these actually, so it's 4 Crusaders. These actually might be our escorts today. Here's Asp Flight, Navy Skyhawks. They're still out over the ocean. Heavy bomb load, 4 aircraft. We've also got Oyster Flight, which are Marine Skyhawks, which is a nice change. I feel like we don't see the Marines as much. We see a lot of the Navy squadrons. This is a large flight. Oyster is 8 aircraft. You can see the other flight behind this flight. But the Marines always tend to have more colorful paint jobs, even compared to the Navy squadrons. And escorting those guys is Dodge, which is 4 Marine Phantoms out behind them. So again, big Marine showing today, which I'm happy to see. It's nice to get them in on the action too. We don't always see them. This is our target today. This is the Haiphong power plant. The main power building you can see off to the right there, the large gray structure, that is our primary target. And then all along the river here we have large POL storage, so most likely an oil plant as opposed to, say, a coal plant, coal-fired plant. And just to the east, we can see the edge of the city. That's Haiphong, stretching away out towards the Gulf of Tonkin. And Haiphong Harbor, you can see all of the large cranes there along the docks. Up at cruise now, we're well clear of the clouds, so that's good. No need to adjust our flight level because of that, but I'm going to go ahead and secure our nav lights as we're on our way in. We're not out of Thailand yet. We're not over enemy territory, but we'll just secure them now. Almost to waypoint 3. There's Rambler off to our right, heading for the rendezvous.
Dodge 1, Red Crown. Copy that.
And yes, it's those Crusaders we were looking at. So Navy escort today. You can see because of that timing editing that I did, there may be a little behind. So that may be, you may tweak that back up for the next mission, because I would like to be getting there around the same time. But here it looks like we're going to be a little out ahead of him, but no problem. We'll just throttle back a little bit and see if they can catch up.
Tomahawk lead, Red Crown. Bogies, 12 o'clock, 50 miles. Angel 5, heading southwest.
All right, MiGs are up today already, down at only 5,000 feet though, as we are just about to reach our cruising altitude. And there's 20,000. Slap the autopilot on. And yeah, make our way into the target now. We're just going to be up here at cruising altitude until we get close enough to dive down. So we do have those MiGs out in front of us, like I said. Not close enough to worry about, but something to keep an eye on. Of course, as always. Oh, look at that. We've just had Hammer Flight join us. I wonder who that is. Ah, there's Rambler way behind us. So, yeah, we're quite out ahead of them. Oh, interesting. Look at that. We have an A5 Vigilante up with us today. Another plane that we don't see that often in the campaign. This is Hammer Flight. This is who just took off. So this is the RA5 Vigilante reconnaissance plane, high-speed reconnaissance, and painted up from the Kitty Hawk here, which is a really sharp paint scheme. I've actually never seen this before. I did a single episode, a shorts episode with the Vigilante years ago, and of course I flew off the Enterprise, so it had the Enterprise squadron paint scheme on it. So this one, this black and red, it looks good. I like it a lot. The A5 was used for tactical reconnaissance. He'll be flying in either our target or maybe one of the A4 targets right after we hit to do a low-level, high-speed pass, photograph the damage, and then bring that information back to the ship for evaluating whether the target was destroyed or needs to be targeted again with a subsequent flight. So, important work the recon planes did. Sometimes not appreciated as much as it should be. Alright, there's those bogies again, the MiGs. So they are heading southwest, possibly towards us. I mean, southwest is towards us. Let's take a look at the radar here. Just see if we can spot anything. I guess our range is only 40 miles, so we're not going to see anything over 50 anyways. But maybe we'll just keep that on and keep an eye out at our 1 o'clock.
Waypoint 4, at 1, Red Crown. Copy.
Just passing the city of Vinh on the coast there, and Rambler Flight well behind us at this point at our escorts, even throttling back. They're not going to catch up anytime soon, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. Tan Hoa coming up on the right there with the Ma River as we continue our way north. We're definitely up over North Vietnam now. Down at Mach 0.73, so a little bit slower than our normal cruising speed, but again, letting our escorts catch up to us a little bit just because we do have those MiGs in the sky. Although we do have the Marine F4s up somewhere as well. Yeah, here we go, J5 frescoes in the snakeskin paint scheme. 2 of them now climbing. This is definitely not at 5,000 feet, so it's possible they are climbing to intercept us as they're just starting to brush the underneath of the clouds here. Oh, my mistake. There's actually 4 of them. So here's the higher pair. They're in the 2-pair formation, and the higher pair, the higher wingmen, are just into the clouds now. So they're at 15,000 feet, possibly heading for us. So definitely going to be on our toes. Nam Dinh now off of our 2 o'clock. Oh, and I see what looks like the Marine F4s spread out and possibly engaging those aircraft, so maybe we'll be hearing from them shortly. Let's switch back to ground mode. At 80 miles, there's Thud Ridge at about 60 miles out. There we go, calls for bandits. I think we're about ready to begin our dive here presently. Maybe take advantage of the confusion now with friendlies engaging the MiGs. Maybe we can duck down underneath them. Yeah, here's Dodge 12 pulling hard. Oh, right on the tail of a MiG-17, or in this case, the J5. Full burners now as he's pulling around. There goes a little bit of a high yo-yo up over the back of this guy. He keeps pulling around to may get a good missile shot. There's a second F4 behind him down and to the right. And missiles are away. We've got a Fox 2. There they are. One's failing to track. One is right in on the tailpipe on that guy, and he's gonna pull and just misses him. He's able to avoid that missile through maneuvering. Just barely eking out an escape. More missiles coming his way, though. Jarhead Phantoms are in the thick of it, over just over Hanoi here. Radar guided Sparrows now coming through the sky at these MiGs. None have hit yet, though. I've not heard anyone get shot down. I guess it's possible with the heavy overcast. It's a very humid day, and all of the missile avionics are failing more than usual. This MiG's actually pulling in behind the F4. Is he going to get a shot? Nope. Phantom is speeding away way too fast. He's never going to catch him. Well, back to the Thuds now. We're only 26 miles away from the waypoint. Thud Ridge is down below us, quite prominent on the radar. So let's nose over and push on down for our high-speed run. M117's selected. You see the gun sight drop down. We already have our delay and our ripple set up, so we are good to go. Down now into the clouds, just around 17,000 feet. Zero visibility as we head down. I think the bottoms were around 16 or 15,000 feet. Red River is right in front of us. Right in front of us. There it is. Coming out the bottom of the clouds, and we're a little bit east of where we were last time. So over there, that is actually Phu to our left, Viet Tri to our right. So last time out, we were a little further west up the river. We were actually on the other side there of Phu, right up next to Kep. So we're coming in at a slightly different angle this time because we were further east for the rendezvous. No signs of AAA yet, so that's a good thing. Maybe we can just zip over these cities real quick without them noticing that we're here. Still nothing so far. There's Thud Ridge right in front of us. Max speed with the M117s is 500 knots, so we're just over a little bit. Gotta pitch the nose up to maintain. We're pitching for speed this time in the dive. 500 knot max. It was a little over. Probably didn't do any damage to the bombs, though. It was not sustained. Once we dump the bombs, we're clear up to 600 knots with the drop tank still on. More missiles firing, so those Phantoms still engaging the J5s. No hits yet. 0 AAA so far. We didn't pick up any flak coming over those cities, which I will take. And we are right down here, right down to just under 1,000 feet. We should be hitting this waypoint any minute. In fact, I'm just going to wing over and manually switch us over to waypoint 5. Okay, down the mountain now. Losing a ton of speed, scrubbing it in the turn. The high wing loading of the F-105, just, we lose so much speed, so pop the burner in, we'll make it up quick. There we go, rolling out. Not too close to the mountain here. We don't want to fly the wingman into Thud Ridge, but as close as we can to it. Where's number 2? There he is. Okay, he was just in my blind spot.
Asp lead, 5 minutes to our target. Asp 1, red crown.
Alright, Asp is 5 minutes away from their target.
Approaching target, 5 minutes out. Point to 1.
So they just hit their initial. We're on our initial. There's the Cow River. Tai Win out to the left. Watch that speed.
I see them.
Oh, we just lost a friendly somewhere.
I see them.
Not sure where this is going on, but somebody's down. MiGs are taking a toll. We are not responding. I don't know what's going on out there. 29 miles to the target now. We're just at 1,000 feet on our way in. Historically, the F-105s would come in at around 1,500 feet or less, so we're well within that. Just keep it down low and fast. Still picking up no AAA, although obviously MiGs, big threat. Oh, there we go. Somebody did get one. Finally, we've retaliated. All right, good job. Got a bridge out there, just coming into view across the river. And I think not much further, we should be able to see our target pop in. We've got this low. I shouldn't say low. We've got this cloud cover today, so it's low in the sense that when we do the pop-up, there's Hanoi just to the right. When we do the pop-up, we're going to have to maintain our visual separation, not go into the clouds as we go up and over. Hey, there's a train. Hello, Mr. Chooch. Over the river, coming up on the outskirts of Back Yang now. Double check our HUD to make sure that we're still on target. Meaning that I have the target selected so I can order the wingmen to attack properly.
Bombs away. On bingo.
Friendlies are bombs away. Alright, looks like Oyster is actually way up to the northwest, so we crossed each other. We've come far down down to Haiphong, and they're up there by Futo or even Kep, maybe. They're pretty high up there. Oh, you know what? There is another power plant over there. I wonder if it's all power plant strikes today. Speaking of which, just coming onto the radar scope right there at the edge. We're closing in. We're going to get just a few miles away, and then I'm going to order the pitch up.
Fox 1, my Winchester. Fox 1.
Okay, there's the little outskirts city. The suburbs of Haiphong to the west there, and just on the other side of that, we should be seeing our target visually here any moment. Oh, in fact, there it is. I think there's the, that's the transmission towers. There's 6 miles. There's 5 miles.
3, copy that. I've got your target.
And up we go, pitching up. Squadron is ordered to attack. Full afterburner. As we zoom climb up, I need several, over 10,000 feet. Then I'm going to roll it on the back, and then we're going to come back down and drop these puppies.
Copy that. Got your target. 1.
Up over onto our back, just
Red Crown.
skidding under the clouds there. There's our target as we roll back down.
Red Crown. Copy that. Tomahawk lead. Red
And there's
Crown.
wingman bombs right through the center of the facility, taking out the target. I'm going to concentrate on these oil tanks now with my 750s. And we're on the pullout. Ensure that our air brake is in, and I've got 2 targeted on that. There was some sort of truck in the middle of the facility, so I want him to come around and drop his bombs to just cause maximum damage on whatever is left in the area. I'm just using the truck as a reference point, basically. Look at that. Major damage to the facility, huge smoke cloud hanging over the top of it. And the truck is still there. So 2 should be back on his way back around to mess that up.
1. Red Crown. Copy. Red
Maybe take out a few oil tanks while he's at it.
Waypoint 7. Pointer 1. Red Crown. Copy that. 2. Copy that. I've got your target. 1. 2's in hot.
Alright, 2's in hot as we're making a little pass here on our way out of the area. Don't want to hang around too long. Okay, 2's dropped his bombs. They should impact any second. Now we'll see what's up, and we'll get everyone returning to formation. Everyone get back here. We're good to go. Alright, looks like 2 mostly missed. But at least he dropped his bombs, so we're not coming back with anything still on. Back towards Thud Ridge now. We're just on the afterburner, low and fast. Right there at 600. That's our speed limit. But I'm finding that the burner, the lower stage burner, is actually keeping me up near 600 without going over it. So we're gonna stay there. We're gonna burn some fuel here, and just go really fast on our way out. Nobody's gonna catch us at this speed. not those MiG-17s, and even if MiG-21s were around, which they're not yet, but even at this speed, a MiG-21 would not be able to catch us at this altitude due to its flutter problems, its stability problems over 510 knots down low. So at this point, you know, we would even be safe for MiG-21s.
Red Crown, Hammer lead, pass, waypoint 8. Hammer 1, Red Crown, copy.
Not a single AAA round fired at us. Something is up today. Like, it seems like the entire AAA network is down. We've had no guns, no SAMs. It's just a MiG day. The MiGs have been out and about. Oh, there's two in afterburner. Look at that burner behind it as he's keeping up with me. That is a pretty sight. Now, we had a full bomb load today, so that meant no sidewinders, so the MiGs could still be a problem if they catch us after the turn here. They can't catch us in a straight line, but we still have to get out to the west. Ooh, let's do our little wingman check-in. We've got all three of them still with us.
4, we'll go. 2, copy that. 3, copy. 4, roger that. 3's bingo fuel.
All right. 3's bingo, but good thing we're already on our way back, so that's okay. If we were to tangle with MiGs, actually, if it were to happen, I'm not saying it will at this point. I'm pretty confident we're just going to skedaddle out of here. But if we did, historically speaking, F-105s shot down 27.5 MiGs, and actually all of them except for 2 were using their gun. So only twice, well, 2.5 times were sidewinders used on MiGs to get kills. The other 24.5 times were all with guns. So despite its really bad handling as a fighter, the F-105 was able to score some gun kills due to the fact that it was actually such a stable platform. It was a very stable weapons platform, and the pilots really liked it for that. And they were just able to use their training and their aircraft to get in good positions behind the North Vietnamese pilots and be able to shoot some down. The half a kill, by the way, that was shared with an Air Force F4 who got the other half of that kill. Back down between and betwixt the cities here, there's the Red River, and that's going to be our final finish line once again. I do not see 3 and 4. They're still with us somewhere, but here's 1 and 2, and we're just crossing over the river now. Oh, there's 3 and 4. Okay, so they're just behind us. They're just a few seconds behind as they are crossing the river also. Back out towards the hills here. Alright, I'm very happy with this. Super successful mission today, at least so far, barring any unforeseen crises, but I don't think that would be the case. We've had no AAA today, just some aircraft problems, but none that bothered us specifically, and I feel like we're well clear of the dangers, so up we go for our cruise back home at 30,000 feet, back up to Mach 0.9. 101 miles to go to our second to last waypoint. And actually, we still have 4,000 pounds of fuel on the plane, which is more than we did yesterday when we were coming back at this time. And I felt confident with that. Now we've got almost 75% or even double the amount that we had last time. So this is going to be a nice, easy run back home. We saved a lot of fuel today. It's nice when you don't just have to be running at full throttle to be able to catch up with the AI because the timing is off.
Red Crown, half fleet, passing waypoint 8.
Although we were still a little ahead of our escorts today and they never really caught up. So I'll probably tweak it again. Maybe I'll shave 1 or 2 minutes off just to make it a little more snappy. Okay, there's the clouds again at about 15,500 feet. Then we'll pop back out into the clear blue. Everything will be hunky-dory, I think. Here's our vigilante, who has already made his photo pass and is almost back out to the ship, I think, at this point. He's well out over the Gulf. Never saw him in the combat area, so still not sure which target he overflew, but it would have been either our power plant or the A4's power plant out to the northwest, but he's almost on his way back here. Oh, there's that graphical glitch that some of the planes have, I've noticed. The shadow. You can see the tether that connects the plane to the shadow sometimes. I don't know if that's something wrong on my end or just something that can't be fixed. Here's our Rambler escorts, who are only just now over the top of downtown Hanoi. And I think they're pretty lucky that there's no anti-air activity today, because they're just hanging out all by themselves here. And actually, they just hit waypoint 7. But they are well behind, obviously, where we were, so that is not really useful. There's 2... Oh, wait a minute. We seem to be missing 2 Crusaders. Maybe they have been around for longer than I thought. Because look, now we're down to... Here's the ASP flight. These are the Navy A4s, so all 4 of them still there. So no A4s were lost. Here's Oyster. How do they do? There's 1, 2, 3, 4. And we've got 1, 2... So all 8. So no, we lost no A4s today, but 2 of those Crusaders are down. Here's the Marine F4s, and we're missing 1 Phantom. So 2 of our escort Crusaders got shot down by MiGs, and 1 of these Phantoms did somehow. So 3 American planes for, I think, only 1 North Vietnamese plane. I only heard 1 MiG get shot down, I think, in the confusion. So that is not a good exchange rate today. Back over friendly territory now. We're going to continue our cruise home until about 50 miles out to begin that descent back down to land. Here we go, coming up on 50 miles. Still have 2,000 pounds of fuel on board. Plenty Plenty, plenty. As we hit 50 miles, throttle back to idle, and now we pitch down for that 300 knot descent. I suppose if we had followed the regular prescribed route that we had, we would have been going with Rambler, and we probably would have been bounced by those MiGs as well.
Red Crown, Rambler.
I suppose taking the alternate route has actually protected us a little bit, although it hasn't always. Like I said, we've seen other aircraft before on the way in, but this time I think it kept us out of harm's way far to the north, while our escorts actually tangled with the enemy planes. But you know, then again, that's their job. Our job is not to dogfight. We need to hit these targets, which we did with a vengeance today, I think. Approaching from the north today, landing on runway 18. Wingmen have broken off behind us, getting set up for their landing because we hit that waypoint. They'll stay with you, you know, if you skip the last two waypoints, like I did last time, and then you can order them manually to brake and go to land. But of course, if you hit the second to last, they automatically begin their landing cycle. So they're well behind us, but here we are on our way in for our overhead brake.
Tomahawk 1, tower, wind 330, at 10, runway 18 in use. Tomahawk 1, tower, wind 330, at 10, clear to land.
Alright, landing with the wind today. They often assign us heading the wrong way on these runways. It seems to not be based at all on wind and is based on, I don't know, mission target, I guess. Just at 1,000 feet here, letting it come down to 350 knots. We're over the top of the north end of the airbase. Here we go. One is in the brake. Air brake's out, and actually just back in, we scrubbed so much speed in the turn, almost don't need the air brakes. I'll probably stop using those in the future because the turn itself gets us well below the 275 that we need for gear and flaps. Descending down to 220 for the downwind. For 180 for the final approach. Again, I'll keep the speed up a little bit in the turn just so that we don't have an unexpected stall and drop rapidly out of the sky, because nobody wants that. But there we're a beam of the landing point, so begin our turn to final. Coming around now, I'll use the air brakes, keep the throttle up. Air brakes to adjust the speed. This is because of the slow spool time of the engines, and also I was actually just reminded while reading that I don't think it's the F-105 specifically, but a lot of planes during this era, there's the stall buffet, would lose hydraulic or oil pressure at less than 50% RPM, so you had to keep the engine up to maintain controllability of the airplane, or in some cases boundary layer air. Some of these planes equipped with a little bit of boundary layer air to help with the lift. There we go, right down at 160 knots, right at stall speed. Perfect touchdown this time. Much better than last. And we'll just keep the nose up just a little bit for that aerodynamic braking as we roll down the runway. Actually, let's get hard on the brakes here. We'll take this high-speed exit here, the high-speed off-ramp. clean up the aircraft, and we'll just get clear of the runway. There's the wingman on final. So that is going to wrap it up for this mission. We'll come to a stop here in a second, and we'll go see you in the debriefing. We'll take one last look at what went down this time out. First things first, you'll notice that we have the correct background now for the debriefing. I made sure and got our beautiful F-105 back in the background. Made sure to do that this time. Okay, our objective was to strike that strategic target in the Haiphong thermal power plant, destroy the enemy power plant in the target area. Flight time, 1 hour, 22 minutes, 46 seconds. Primary target was destroyed by number 3, I believe. 3 and 4 really got the first hits. Rating was success, score 1350, so actually 200 points more than we got last mission. No medals this time out, even with the higher score. Alright, I've dropped 8 of my bombs, getting 6 hits for 5 kills. So we really plowed through the middle of the compound today. Be interested to see what those kills actually were. Last time we were hitting fences and other things. Second Lieutenant Lamberry, that's number 2, he fired, or dropped all 8 bombs for 1 hit, 1 kill. Oh, so that was, yeah, so I ordered him to hit that truck, and I thought he was going to do more damage to the facility, but it looks like he actually got the truck, so alright, can't complain about that. And First Lieutenant Ko, that's number 3, he got 8 hits, so 1 hit for each bomb, getting 7 kills, so he really knocked it out of the park too. And Second Lieutenant Kittinger did not fire any weapons, so no bombs dropped for some reason. But I think at that point, who cares? We inflicted maximum damage on the target, and that place will not be operational anytime soon. 833, here's Ko dropping his bombs, and he destroyed a POL tank, 2 tanks, a warehouse, and the power plant. Oh, and power plant structure, which I believe are the high tension wires. And a comm building. So yeah, so he destroyed, oh, and 2 more, Jesus Christ, so 2 more tanks and the comm building. So he really went to town. Here's me, only seconds later, dropping my bombs. Yeah, you see here it was 8:33. Late in 33, so here I am early 34, and I destroyed a warehouse, a POL tank, 2 fuel trucks, another tank, and then here's Lamberry. So Lamberry also got a ton of hits. Oh, interesting. He got a lot of hits, but he only killed 1 thing, and that was that warehouse. So they all hit that warehouse. Well, I'll still take it, because we all made it back, and the mission was a rousing success. So, good day today. Thanks for coming along. Join me again next time as we continue the exploits of Curtis Bradley here in his F-105. And yeah, the adventure will continue. Missions should fire every between 3 to 5 days in game. So it was actually rare or strange that we only had a 1-day difference between last mission and this mission. So maybe we'll get more like a week next time out, but we'll see.